How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be working on the farmall Super A carburetor. We're going to just take it off and clean it. If you watched the last video I made, we had a big stream of gas just running from the carburetor. So we're kind of thinking either the float has got a crack in the float or it just stuck. Maybe dirty. Hasn't been running in quite a few years, so we're going to go ahead and pull the carburetor off, get it over here, and get it cleaned up. Alright, the very first thing you want to do when you're getting ready to take your carburetors off, make sure the fuel is turned off. Once the fuel is turned off, we'll go ahead and take the fuel line off. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this fuel line here looks like somebody's used a machine gun to take it off or something. It's all stripped up, this little piece here, but as long as we can get it on and off, it should be okay. I suppose they had a pair of channel locks or something. That's all they had to take it off, so that's what they used to take it off with. So okay, we get the fuel line out of the way. Now there's only just a couple bolts holding this carburetor on, so I'm going to go ahead and work on getting these few bolts off. You got the two going into your manifold here, and then a couple down here going into the air filter. So we're going to go ahead and pull these guys out, and then we'll get this thing over there and get her cleaned. We had a lot of gas coming out of that carburetor. I'm going to take this whole hose off because it looks like it's got a tear in it right there or something. Might have to replace that hose. There's a little clip right here I'm going to have to take out for the throttle. I'll go get a pair of needle nose pliers. Okay, there's actually two of these little clips you got to take out. One runs to the back and one runs to the front. So not too hard, just a little tight getting in there, but nothing you can't do. So, and I just took this one off up in the front. It was a lot easier to get to than the one in the back. This one back here. So she's off. Alright, I got the carburetor over here on the table, and the first thing I'm going to do with it is I'm going to give it a little bath with some gas. I don't have any other way of cleaning it, so we're going to take just a brass wire brush, and we're going to clean this thing up real good on the outside, and that's going to help us from getting the garbage from the outside of it to the inside of it. So just going to brush it up real good, clean all the grease off of it, and get it ready to tear apart. Alright, our carburetor's had a good gas bath. We wire brushed it down with the brass wire brush, and it looks pretty good. At least we ain't got no big heavy garbage hanging off of it. So we're going to go ahead and get to tearing it apart. I'm not interested in dissecting this thing because I'm thinking maybe if later we choose, we might put a rebuilt kit in this thing. I know the float is sticking in it, so we're gonna get down to the floats, and we're gonna get them and see what's happening in the bottom of this bowl here. See if it has hard ethanol in there, where we'd put an ethanol in it, or the gas, you know, because you got that ethanol in your gas, and of course it plugs up everything. So this thing might have a bunch of garbage in the bottom of the bowl. I'm not going to rebuild it, I'm just going to clean it. Well, the float is out of, or the jet is out of it. So right here is the jet. course, it's going to fall out, I guess, as soon as you take it out. But we do have a good bit of garbage down inside this thing. And I'll get you guys in here a little closer so you can see. I don't know if you guys could see that in the bottom here. It's got some garbage down in there. So we're going to go ahead and clean this out real good and see what else we can find. Okay, here's the little float jet, and we'll go ahead and take these jets out. Lay them over here in my little pan. We're gonna get some of the bottom of this tore apart here. Get some of these jets out here so we could clean them up. And what I'll do is I'll take these and clean them up with some gas and make sure some air, gas and air, clean all these up. We got a tight one here. Boy, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that one out. Nope, I may not be able to get that one out. We might just have to blow that one out. Yeah, that one there, I'm not having any luck getting that one out. So we may have to just blow it out. Blow some air through it. Hopefully it's okay. So that's about all I'm going to take apart on this guy. Is those couple right there. I'm not going to be able to get that one out. So we're going to blow these out with some good air pressure and make sure we got as much as we can out of the inside of them. And you know, I don't think you really should have that jet out too, but I can't see me getting it out. So I'm going to get some air. I'm going to start cleaning up this piece right here. Okay, hopefully we got them clean enough. I couldn't get that one jet out, but we'll go ahead and clean up the other jets and get them all put back in. Okay, I went ahead and made sure these were clean. I blew air through them and made sure I could see through them good. I got that one out, and that one down in the bottom out. But this one here, as you could see, it's like breaking off in there. But I don't know if it's breaking, but it looks like it's kind of stripping right there when I put the screwdriver, because I had some little pieces of brass I had to blow out of there. So I'm not going to mess with that, but air did go through it. So hopefully this bottom part will be okay. I don't really think this was our problem, but we'll get to cleaning on the other half, and that was, our float wasn't staying up in there. That's where our problem was. So we'll get to that next. Okay, we're up in here. This is where our float's set on, and this piece here, I didn't have a screwdriver far enough to get across there, so I just took this old, this is a gasket scraper, and it fits in there pretty good. So I just wanted to make sure I got all the way across there so I don't strip that thing too. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take this over there, and I'm going to rinse it out with some ether, and then I'll blow it out with some air and make sure this line is good and clean going through here, and we'll clean this up here. Okay, I just gonna pull this guy here off, set him off to the side, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this jet here out. But I'm gonna count the turns in first. That's only a half a turn out, so we're gonna go ahead and take this out. We'll get some air pressure down through here too. So we're going to make sure we blow some air through here, this piece. All this is going to have a lot of air blowed through it, just in case there's any garbage down in them. Okay, looks like we wouldn't hurt to have a new gasket put on here either, so we might have to make a gasket for that. So I think our hole here for our jet is pretty clean. And normally if I'm cleaning one of these jets, I usually just take a small Bristol brass brush and just kind of brush it real lightly, and then wipe it off with a rag. And then screw it back in. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to do a whole bunch to this carburetor. I just want to make sure that that floats are not sticking. And we're going to take the floats, I think, are okay, because I think if there would have been gas leaking into them, they'd have a little something in them, but they don't, and they really look like they're in good shape. So we're not going to mess with them. It looks to me like they're in pretty good shape. So we're going to go ahead and screw this back in to where it was. And then we're going to turn it out the half a turn where it was. So it's exactly where it was when we took it out. If it ran there before, it should run there again. And this little guy here, this is our gasket. Oh, I just wipe this guy off. Put this down on here. Make sure she's cleaned up good and put her back down in here. Now This guy here, same way. This is where our jet goes in right here. We just blow it out with some air and make sure you can see good through it. And it looks good. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy back in. And like I said, I didn't have a screwdriver big enough for that, so I'll just use this little scraper. It seems to do a good job. I think our floats are fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with our floats. I think they're just fine. I just think that maybe either that jet had fell out of there. It may have just fell out of there. I don't know. I didn't know the jets would go down that far to allow them to fall out. But I'm going to check it and see. I'm losing stuff here. See, that jet was in the bottom of the bowl when I took it apart. So I don't understand how they could have got out of there, but hopefully, yeah, I don't know how the jet could have got out of there. This only goes down so far. So we're going to go ahead and get to putting this guy back together. I think it should be okay. Then we'll fill it full of gas. We're hoping that we get our coil in, we can go ahead and get this thing fired up. Alright, I've just found out what was wrong with the carburetor. If you look in this clip right here, this is where we were putting it back together, and you can see I got a little, right at the end of that little tip where it says this is right. This float was put in upside down. When I tore it apart, I had taken another picture earlier. I said, remember this picture? This is wrong. You can see the little bump in there. That is upside down. So whoever worked on this before I got it had put the float in upside down. And that's the reason why that little jet was in the bottom of that carb. I was doing the video when I noticed this, and I figured I'd throw it in there just to see if you guys caught it on the way through the video. So now, hopefully, we're okay. Okay, I think our carburetor is going to be okay. We're going to go ahead and stick it back on. I can't find my gasket material, but this thing's not very hard to pull on and off. A couple bolts, we could change that if we had to, but we're going to go ahead and try, put it on there and see if we're leaking any fuel. Okay, I had to hook up the rods in the back again too. Don't forget, the throttle had to be hooked up there. And I didn't put this boot back on. I didn't put this boot, but I'm going to have to replace this boot. I actually see a hole. There's a hole in there, so I'm going to replace this boot. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a hole right in the side of here. So we're just going to leave this off. We're not going to be out running it on any fields or anything right now. And we'll probably have to pull this carburetor back off and put that new gasket in there. But I was going to leave that open so I could shoot that with ether if I had to. I'll be able to shoot it up in there with a little bit of ether. But I want to get this thing all cleaned out, the air filter. And somebody was talking about the cleaning this thing out, so I'm going to do that too. I do pay attention to you guys when you're talking, so I hear all the comments. So hopefully, if we have to, like I said, I could replace the gasket in here when I put that gasket or this piece of pipe back in there. And I think we need to replace this for sure. So just a couple more little things here. Hook up the fuel line, hook up this piece here, and we'll be able to put some fuel to her. Hopefully she won't leak all over the floor. Okay, all we gotta do now is turn the gas on and see if she runs to the floor. Let's see how much, if it's coming out the bottom, just to make sure this tractor's getting gas, because if it's not getting gas, it's not gonna do us no good trying to start it. Well, it's getting gas now, but you know, it don't look like it's running that fast to me. It don't look like it's running real fast. So, man, I'm telling you, we might have to clean that pitcock going up into the gas tank. I don't know. I mean, it's getting gas, so we're gonna try it. But if this thing seems like it's running out of gas, I guarantee you we're gonna have to go to that gas tank. See, I don't know what the people did to this thing before I got it. I don't know. You know, I just don't know what they did. So anyhow, it is getting gas. We can see it dripping there. It's got to be filling up the float or the bowl right now. So we'll leave it set a couple minutes, check it again, make sure it's not leaking. If it's going to be leaking, it'll run right out the center of this guy right here. Okay, we have no gas leaking. If we did have gas leaking, it would be coming from right here. So there's no gas leaking in there and the gas is on. I'm going to go ahead and shut the gas off. It's been a little while. If you guys, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I was putting gas in the tractor and I decided to go do a video on gas cans because I'm pretty disgusted with our gas cans today. So hopefully this is going to work. All I got to do is turn the gas off underneath there, and we're going to, hopefully that coil, we have that coil and we'll get this thing fired up.